Today is Sunday, July 20th, and I just came out here and all the worms were underneath the cardboard. It kind of seemed like they were all down into the dirt. So I look at that as a really good sign. I kind of sifted through it and there are lots of worms, but they need fed. So like they ate all the avocado out of here, but they're all very active and moving. You can just see all the movement in there. So I went into the house and got some compost, and I'm just gonna dump this in there. We'll see. It's cantaloupe, cucumber, eggshells, coffee grounds, just kitchen scrap stuff that I've had. And I'm just gonna, I made a well in the middle, if you can kind of see that. And I'm just gonna dump this in here. I know people say they don't like onions. Oh, and there's some asparagus in there. It's kind of gross too. I'm just gonna dump it out in there. Shake off all the extra moisture. Because this bin, it's holding moisture, but it's not super wet. So I'm just going to kind of spread this out. There's asparagus from what I had picked. The eggshells. Try to crunch up a little bit. Oh, there is a lemon peel, which some people say that the worms don't like, and there's just one. And then there's like some onion peels and stuff, but all the other ones I see are gone. So I'm just gonna say that they're probably eating it. It might not be their favorite, but they're doing something with it. So I'm just gonna cover this all up. Let it start going. So far so good. I mean, I get about a Walmart sized bag of compost at least every week. So if I can build them up enough, see, they're just hanging out. If I could build them up enough to be eating a Walmart sized bag of kitchen scraps once a week, that would be super, super helpful. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. I think we're pretty good. And then I just always put the box that they came in back over the top of most of it, like that. But today was the first day where I hadn't disturbed it in a few days. The last time I checked it was a few days ago on my last day off. And I keep saying all, but it's really, some of the worms were up at the top. So, I knew that it probably was going to end up needing to be fed. So now hopefully they just all go voracious on that compost. I'm going to put the lid back on. And there's definitely 1,000 worms in there. So hopefully I can keep... Wow. That is the first time I have ever seen a squirrel in that tree. We don't get a lot of squirrels in our garden. I don't know if you'll be able to see them moving around in there, but because we have this open field and the trees are pretty far away, and then on the other side of our property is a road and a house on the other side of the street with woods behind them. And so the squirrels like to stay in trees, but they feel comfortable right now running from the trees over there to this tree. I just don't want them to feel very comfortable coming into my garden and taking bites out of tomatoes. See that there's two different kind of trees. Pretty neat. Somebody lost their beach ball. Everything is just growing. I am going to pull up all these asparagus beans. I just got overwhelmed with them, so I've just been letting them grow, and they'll all just dry out and get hard on the vine there, and that's all right with me. I have thousands of seeds, probably a whole coffee can full at least, of just asparagus beans. The sunflowers are doing really well. That marigold got huge. The cherry tomatoes keep setting more and more. The blackberry bush is doing good. Lots of tomatoes set on there. I need to try to feed everything real quick tonight before I finish mowing the lawn. I just grabbed the fish emulsion and the watering can. I did turn on the irrigation, which is in these 4 beds so far. I need to dig out, I've got this hose over here. I need to dig out the splits so that I could put 2 hoses, 1 hose to each of these beds and 1 hose to each of these, and do the soaker hoses. But these are just everywhere. I'm not going to let them grow because I'm going to try to plant some squash in these beds. That's my next. I have the seeds on sponges on water in the house. And these all, they do have water. It runs out the holes in the side if I put more water on them. So they are definitely working. They're just not working super well for the raspberries, blueberries, or goji berries, which is probably because I haven't been dumping fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer in them. I have to go back through and figure out an organic fertilizer that I feel comfortable dumping into the wicking tubs. Obviously, if we were like on a major food shortage, I wouldn't care about the organic, and I would just dump the fertilizer that I have in there, which is like Miracle-Gro, but I'm not going to do that right now because I am trying to do more organic. But that compost tomato is definitely doing great. The 2 from the neighbors are doing great. That beefsteak has so many tomatoes on it. The asparagus is coming up. After I pulled it all out, which I was going to go through and pull this all out and throw it in a jar in the refrigerator with some vinegar just to pickle some asparagus. It's coming up like crazy. The okra, I need to clip that all back. There's got to be okra on it, I would think. The dill's not doing so great. This butterfly vine is taking over everything, so I know I need to pull it all out, but the sunflowers are all in pots down there, so I'll have to decide what I'm going to do. But today, while I was cleaning the pool, it was really neat to look over here and see hummingbirds on the vine. So I do really like having a place for the hummingbird vine, even though it is so invasive and just goes crazy. But it pulls out fairly easily unless it's wrapped around everything like this. I need to really get the zucchini in somewhere in the ground. The oregano is going to seed over here now. The Roma tomatoes are all doing well. They look fairly healthy. They've got a little bit of blight, which is mostly from where leaves are touching. They don't like to touch. See, the water's on. That'll be pretty neat to see the sunflower. It's neat to watch the leaves throughout the day. They all kind of shift towards the sun, which is just beautiful. But I need to pull all this stuff back. Hopefully next year all the oregano and everything will spread out into the bed better, and then I'll plant stuff inside of it, because every time that you move this, it just smells so good. Every time you kind of get in here, you just smell oregano. Now my gloves smell like oregano, so it's pretty neat to have that scent as you're moving around in the garden. Oh, there's more dill. And on the edge there. Next year I need to definitely plant a lot more dill. Just plant it everywhere, because it goes so quick for pickles. I like to really put a lot of it in the pickles, so I need a lot of it. Oh, these guys are obnoxious. Oh, now he's probably gonna come bite me. But I need to get some of these leaves off here. There should be okra on here. Oh, there's a flower right there. Yeah. I need my clippers, so I need 2 hands. I'm gonna get a little bit of stuff done. But this is almost end of August in the garden, or almost end of July, sorry. Almost the end of July.